Hello, my name is Ellie. Whew, I've got to shake out the nerves here. Okay, if I don't chicken out and I go through with this and I upload it, this will be my first ever YouTube video. So please bear with me because I'm gonna make myself cringe. But today I'm here to talk about Frozen 2. I wanted to do a little movie review because it's finally come out on DVD. I've finally gotten a chance to see it. And I just wanted to share my thoughts. These are my thoughts. Everybody's gonna have their own opinion, but I just wanted to get it out there because I really enjoyed this movie. But before I get started, I do have to give a quick shout out to one of my bestest friends in the whole wide world, Jake's Astrology. Go follow him everywhere. He really knows his stuff. He is amazing, and he was so kind to gift me with the ColourPop and Frozen 2 collaboration. That's right, it is the Anna collection set. He is such an amazing gift giver, and this was so fitting because if I had to choose a Disney princess, who is the most like me and who has a personality like mine? It's Princess Anna. So I just had to say, shout out to him. That receiving this from him, I've used these products at least 100 times, and it's just made me 10 times more excited to see this movie, and now I finally have. So go follow Jake's Astrology. Now, getting right into it. I just have to say, I enjoyed this movie so much, and I tend to be very picky about sequels. I think sequels have a hard time following up the original, especially with a movie like this one. I mean, hello, Frozen was so successful. One of the, if not the most successful Disney princess movie ever. I know for a fact it's made Disney the most money. It's the highest grossing Disney princess film. And that leads me to the beef that I have with Disney because, fun fact guys, Anna and Elsa have not been officially coronated into the Disney princess lineup yet. What? Why? Why not? What gives? Disney, these princesses have made you the most money and you haven't even officially coronated them yet. I would love more than anything to see the coronation at Disney World, at Disneyland, of Anna and Elsa. They deserve it. But that's besides the point. Getting right into this movie review, I did take some notes here, a full page front and back of notes. So the movie starts out, first scene, we see Anna and Elsa as little girls. Your heart just melts. They are so endearing, they're so lovable, and from the first scene, we see their personalities, how different they are, their bond. I have to say, I'm the oldest. I have a younger brother, and this is gonna sound so bratty, but I always thought I was the kind of girl who couldn't handle having a sister. I loved being the center of attention. I loved being the princess, the only girl, and this movie just made me rethink all of that. Seeing Anna and Elsa and their bond and their relationship and just the dynamic of how they play off of each other, how different they are, it made me want a sister. No shade to Jordan, who is my little brother. Hey, Jordan, you're the best little brother in the whole wide world. But yeah, I just had to say that. That's one of the best parts, if not the best part of this movie, is their sisterly bond. Second best part of this movie are the action sequences. I almost wished that there were more of them, because in those scenes, I was on the edge of my seat. And this movie has more musical numbers than the first one. And I almost found myself wanting to fast forward through a couple of them and get back into the action because that's how much I love those action scenes. I just think it's the highlight of this film. So the first scene, you see them as little girls. They're playing in the snow with Elsa's powers, and the dad walks in. He tells them about an enchanted forest. Oh my goodness. Okay, I should have said this sooner. Spoilers. Massive spoilers in this video. If you don't want to get spoiled before you see this movie, click out right now. If it's not too late, I probably already spoiled something, but yeah, seriously. Moving right along, the dad comes in and he's like, this is unlike any enchanted forest I've ever seen. Excuse me, Dad, why is this the first we're hearing of this? Why have we not been told the story of how you and Mom met and fell in love and where Elsa's magical powers came from? I would have loved to know that in the original, but that's besides the point. So he talks about the spirits of earth, fire, water, and wind, and the Northuldra people, and how their grandfather built a dam for these people as a gift of peace. Gift of peace. The mother sings to them a little lullaby. And getting into the character development of this movie, as a little girl even, you see Anna is a hopeless romantic. She's like, and then they all get married. And can I just say, that is a mood. That is me. She loves love. Clearly, she has hard eyes, you know, her whole life. And Elsa, even as a little girl, you see how serious she is. She's quite the worrier. She's very protective. I mean, which is fitting because she's the oldest sister. But she just carries a lot of weight on her shoulders. You can tell even from such a young age. And that alone, just showing that dynamic and how different their personalities are, they're so humanized. I know in the first one they had their quirks and you could really see their personalities, but even more so in this one, they're so relatable and they just feel like real people. You feel like you know them, you can relate to them. It's just a different perspective for me. So even though Elsa is the one on the journey to self-discovery in this movie, I feel like this is Anna's movie. She's the one that goes through the full character development. She has a full character arc from beginning, middle to end. And spoiler alert, at the end of this movie, she becomes Queen of Arendelle, which is very well deserved, and I'll get into that. Other characters in the movie, Olaf, he continues to be the comic relief, probably even more so in this one. Kristoff, his character arc in this movie is the very, very cliche, you know, we've seen it in every rom-com there is. He's trying to propose to Anna, and he keeps screwing it up, which is kind of annoying because you just want him to get it right, and he keeps saying the wrong thing. That's super cliche to me. And even when the proposal finally happens, it's not quite as satisfying as I would have liked. So those are our four main characters. Then we get some new side characters, and I do love them all. I think they play their part. But yeah, this is mainly Anna's movie. So the plot is the next thing I'm going to get into. There is that plot hole that I mentioned where, like, why haven't we heard the story of how the parents met before? If the mother is Northuldra, or however you say it, why didn't she say so? Why didn't Dad remember who saved him if it was their mom? I just found that to be strange. Also, Elsa's powers. We already knew that she was tough and brave and strong and powerful in the original, but in this one, her powers are unmatched. She is the Superman of Disney princesses. It's almost like unbeatable. And she's so brave and almost reckless because of it. She knows how powerful she is. She knows that nothing can touch her. And that just, like, drives the plot. She just jumps without thinking twice. She knows that she got this. And I really love that. The music. My favorite song isn't even really a song. It's not a real musical number. It's like the theme that you hear when the title card comes up. It's that, like, tribal sounding, Scandinavian, Nordic, Danish. What are they? I don't even know where they're from really. But it's that music. The na 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 ya na na na. That was horrible. I butchered that. But yeah, you get the point. Like, that's my favorite song. My least favorite songs would probably be Olaf's little musical number in the middle there where it's like, I'll understand when I'm older, or this will all make sense when I'm older, whatever, that song. That was kind of weird. I almost like felt like fast forwarding it. And then the other one that was really annoying was Kristoff's song. It's supposed to be like an 80s soft rock kind of vibe, and I think that one's called Lost in the Woods. Yeah, I just wanted to skip it. I just wanted to get back to the action. As far as the voice acting, pristine on point. I already loved, who's Anna's voice actress? Kristen something. She's married to Dax Shepard. Crap, I forget her last name, but I love her as an actress. I loved her in Bad Moms, but that's for another day. But her voice acting, I just loved it. Every time that these characters cried, I cried, or I almost did. I was on the verge of tears. The animation is some of the best I've ever seen. You see the details of their tears, Anna's freckles on her face, their costumes. Oh my gosh, I loved every single one of their outfits, their dresses. You see like the crystals and the beads and the threading on their outfits. This animation is out of this world. Like, Pixar is shaking in their boots, okay? Disney has really outdone themselves. As far as my favorite scenes, I loved the charades scene. And I also loved the scene where Elsa's trying to conquer the Dark Sea on the way to Otto Holland, I think is how you say it. It's that sequence. Both of those scenes actually are shown in the trailer. I hate when movies do that, by the way, where they show all the best stuff in the trailer. But it didn't ruin it for me. Like, the trailer was awesome. It didn't, give away too much. But those were by far my favorite scenes. And I have to say, my husband's a surfer. He loved this movie. And that was his favorite scene, where Elsa's like running through these massive waves. And I could just tell my husband seeing it from a different perspective, because he's like, oh, she should have duck dove through that one, or she shouldn't have went over the top of that one. Anyway, moving right along. Elsa's water horse in that scene where she's on the way to Otto Holland. Her water horse, I'm pretty sure that character probably has a name. That thing is awesome. And the animation in that, like, you see the mane dripping water. Oh, it's freaking fantastic. And it just feels real. So, somewhere in that sequence, when Elsa's like taking a walk down memory lane and you see all these like ice sculptures acting out these moments in time, I loved the part where she cringes at herself singing Let It Go. That is so relatable. We have all been there. Like, in fact, my camera totally turned off, but I'm gonna try to pick up right where the last clip let off. So I hope this all transitions very well together. We'll see. But I love the part when she's walking down memory lane. I love the part where she cringes at herself singing Let It Go. That was awesome. So relatable. We've all been there. In fact, I'm going to make myself cringe at least 10 times during this, especially now that my video cut in half. But anyway, I also loved the part, same sequence, she's walking down memory lane. Right after that part where she cringes, she walks past Han's ice sculpture thingy, that moment where he's completely BSing, his love for her sister, and she shatters his ice sculpture. Oh, love that. Great sister moment. I do have to say, Anna's bravest moment is the scene where she is using the earth monsters, or the earth giants, excuse me, to destroy the dam. That is her moment where she saves the day. I would have loved, though, right when all this is happening, she almost falls off a cliff. And one of our brand new side characters, who I love his personality and the part he plays in the movie, he reaches out and catches her before she falls to her death, assumingly. I would have loved if Kristoff had that chance. If he reached out and saved his love from her death. Like, especially because Kristoff's whole arc in this is kind of annoying, and he's really only there to keep screwing up his proposal. That would have been such a redeeming moment for his character to save her life, and it would have just held more importance, more oomph for his character. But nonetheless, she gets saved, thank goodness, because she becomes the Queen of Arendelle at the end. And right before Arendelle gets taken over by this massive tidal wave after the dam breaks, Elsa comes riding in on her water horse, saves them, saves them all, saves the whole city of Arendelle, and then reunites with Anna. So Anna, up until this moment, thinks something horrible has happened to Elsa, and she's happy that, you know, they're about to have this happy ending and everyone's saved. But she's also, you can tell, like, she's still a little bit broken because she doesn't know what happened to her sister. Then they finally reunite, and that part, I was in full-blown tears because they embrace, and I just love them. I love that moment. So then, right after that, the proposal finally happens, and that's where it's kind of lacking for me. I would have liked for that to be its own moment, but instead it's like all this good stuff is already happening, and Kristoff's like, oh yeah, will you marry me? I don't know. It just wasn't quite as satisfying as it could have been. But yeah, then everybody lives happily ever after, and everything kind of gets wrapped up really nicely. This movie was freaking awesome. I don't know if it was quite as good as the first, which is hard to do for an original, especially to that level that the original Frozen is. But I loved Frozen 2. As a movie of its own, the beginning, the middle, the end, it was fully entertaining. Go watch this movie. And yeah, those are my thoughts on it. And like I said, if I have the courage to upload this, look forward to seeing plenty more movie reviews from me. I think that's it.